Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's I'm going to be reviewing the Acura TLX. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jody Wilkinson Acura here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this TLX. I'm going to include a link to the website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 21 around town and then 29 on the highway, with power outputs being 272 horsepower and then 280 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see here with the lines that kind of arc towards the center. I think that looks really sharp. And then popping down below, Acura's headlight design is just so aggressive here. And then you can see how it's blacked out on this trim piece. And then same thing with the grille. And then we do have the Acura badge that's got a little bit of silver trim. But when you put it all together, I think the TLX has this really sharp, aggressive front end. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 255/40/19 on the front and over in the rear. And then you guys can see with the wheels themselves, they're metallic gray, which kind of goes with the darker theme of this particular car. Got your A-Spec badge there on the side, and then notice the mirror cap's blacked out as well as all of the window trim. And then here is your full side profile with the TLX. And then taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function. We got the opening for the trunk, you've got that for the remote start, and then the Acura logo on the back. And this is a very premium feeling key fob. And then popping into the cargo area, you can see there's a cargo cover from the factory. You got the A-Spec logo there. And then notice with the seat fold down tabs here in the back as well if you need even more space. And then when you're all done, just plop. Blacked out spoiler here. Then you can see with the TLX badge, and then I love the taillight design here. And then got the rest of the badges here on the back. And then look how big those exhaust tips are. But putting it all together, what do you guys think about the looks here on the quote-unquote regular TLX? Now inside, it's soft touch here at the top, and they got this cool red stitching down below. And then taking a look at the seats, perforated all down the center portion, and more of that stitching. Now, the seat is pushed back a little bit, but legroom here is a little bit more on the tight side of things. We've got a little storage pocket there. Got some vents here, USB ports as well. And then you guys can see we've got a cup holder armrest, another cool feature. And then a headroom back here, it's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you can see again with the soft touch trim, and same thing down below. All of our window controls here, and then you've got your mirror adjustments on top of that. Memory seat function, and then some speakers here for the sound system. And then we do have blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Taking a look at the front seat, again really cool trim all down the center. All of our power adjustments there on the side. And then you can see with the pedals down below. And then we've got this for the safety tech, stability controls for the parking sensors, and then nice soft touch trim on the dash with more of that red stitching. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see soft touch here at the top and at the bottom, but then it's perforated on either side so you can get a better grip. Paddle shifters are in the pack for the 10-speed. You got a bunch of parental controls in the front for like your adaptive cruise control, steering assist, voice command controls, volume controls as well. And then you get your regular stocks there on the back. Digital gauge cluster here in the center, which we can see different bits of information with the little tabs here on either side. So a pretty cool feature there, like that's on the radio, for example. But the fun party trick is the drive modes. So notice how it changes there from normal to sport. And then the other cool part with the drive modes is it also gives you a cool animation here in the center screen as well. And then while we're on the screen, we've got a backup camera with two directional lines that turn with the steering wheel. Pretty easy setup. And then this is not a touchscreen. It's controlled via a keypad. It's really easy to use. It does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And the longer I review cars, the more I appreciate these non-touchscreen screens because they're less expensive to replace if something goes wrong, and it's less likely that something will go wrong with a screen that's not a touchscreen. Anyways, nice stitching all across the dash here. Pretty cool design. Got a bunch of analog controls here for the climate system, dual zone climate, heated and ventilated seats too. We've got a drive mode select with that dial. Got the buttons here for the transmission select, your auto stop, start, brake hold as well. This is for the infotainment system, then your volume control as well. Got your wrist rest, say that 20 times in a row. Good luck. wireless phone charging pad. You can see some cup holders, and then nice trim on the center console. Got some USB ports inside as well. And then while we're over here, glove box. It's pretty big. And then we do have a sunroof up top as well. Now here's a window sticker for this TLX. You guys can see almost everything is standard. But anyways, after all options and everything, $51,795. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, both the mirrors, through to the rear, and let us set off in the TLX. So this is pretty similar in price to the Integra Type S base model price before you add any sort of add-ons. Now I know they're not really comparable cars. This is obviously a bigger car. The Integra is manual only with the Type S, versus this is an automatic only. But still, like, if you're gonna spend about $50,000 on an Acura, should you go TLX or Integra? Interesting question, right? What I will say about this compared to the Integra is this is much nicer like interior in terms of the, I guess, upscale feel of it. The Integra has a nice interior, but it's more more on the quote-unquote economy side of things, versus this feels I would say definitely more than luxury, but neither of them are economy. They're both again, nice interiors, but I think that's a good way to kind of describe it. Handles well. It's also pretty comfortable with the suspension, so I think that's a plus. That's nice. And pop it over into the sport mode here. Pretty quick, pretty dang quick. I mean, you know, it's not crazy like the Type S version of the TLX, but it's still got good power for what it is. Feels fast enough. And I like how this drives. It has a pretty solid feel to it. Actually, I'll leave it in the sport mode because we'll get another acceleration here. The transmission also is responsive. This 10-speed's nice. Yeah, the suspension damping's good. Yeah, for a little 4-cylinder, it's not bad. It is not bad at all. So, to sum things up, I don't want to mess with that. Okay. To sum things up, I think the TLX looks really cool on the outside. I think this interior is really nice, especially considering the price point. This is a very premium interior at, you know, the $50,000 range. And then it drives well. It's sporty, but it's also comfortable. Great daily driver. Great daily driver. Now, I guess, you know, the Integra comparison, I mean, they're not really comparable, but it would just depend. Like, if you want more of like comfort, daily driving, all of that, this would make more sense. The Integra is still a very comfortable car, but manual transmission, a little bit smaller. It's, you know, it's just not as practical. So it would just depend on your needs with the car. But yeah, I think that, yeah, I think they're both cool in different ways. I guess another question that you guys should answer that would be interesting: would you go TLX Type S or Integra Type S? That would also be an interesting one. But either way, let me know what you guys think about the regular, quote unquote regular TLX.